Warning, the following may contain vampire bunnies.
Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced. Spending the night by the roadside, on the way to the town of Vallaki, the party is disturbed by 4 shambling undead figures, marching through the trees towards them. Time to roll for initiative.
20. Natural 20.
Okay.
7.
15.
8.
I don't want to go first.
Okay, Master Sonny, you were 15. 8 was Lord Talfrin, is that right?
That's right.
Okay, Kellen was 7. The dead human type things are going last. So the order of combat is going to be Jean, then Master Sonna, then Lord Talfrin, then Kellen, then Ismark, then Irina, then the dead things. Okay. Jean, what are you going to do? There's creatures moving through the dark towards you. They're about 60 feet away at the moment.
Okay, so what if I cast like a fairy fire, which like has 60 feet, and make them illuminated and easier to hit? Does that help anyone?
Absolutely.
Is that a good move?
How many figures can you target with fairy fire? Does it say?
Each object in a 20-foot cube.
Okay.
Within range.
Okay. Go for it then.
Okay. So I pull out my concertina and I go honk and cast my spell. 17 plus whatever. What is? Do you add that to something? Is there a number here? 17.
I'm just checking fairy fire for you. Fairy fire. Any creature, so you actually don't need to cast anything. Every creature in the area, when the spell is cast, is outlined if it fails a dexterity save. So I'm just going to roll for each of my creatures. Do you know what your spell difficulty is? When
the difficulty, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Difficulty.
Beside.
When difficult, first level evocation, casting time.
It should be on the page with your spells at the top of it, where it says your spell attack, and beside it it should say spell DC or something like that.
Spell attack bonus? No, DC 13. 13. Sorry, excuse me.
No. So I'm just checking. He fails.
I'm a great magician.
Yeah. That one fails. These guys are terrible at the type of throw, so they all fail. So they are all. What does it look like? What does your fairy fire look like?
As I play an E minor on the concertina.
Yeah.
All of the villains began to glow. A curious sort of yellow halo about their ragged skins.
Okay. And so that clearly illuminates these guys. Now, I do not know if any of your the worlds you guys come from has stories of, or if you've ever experienced zombies before, but that's exactly what these guys are. Thanks to Jean's illumination of them, you guys all get advantage when you are attacking them. Okay, Jean, are you staying?
Good job.
Are you otherwise staying up the tree?
Oh God, yes.
Okay, Master Sonna, you're up.
Yay.
These guys are 60 feet away at the moment.
I just rolled a 1.
Oh, no.
What were you trying to do?
Attack.
Okay, well, you're 60.
Like, yes, I have initiative. I have advantage. I'm going to tackle these monster, creepy, undead things.
What were you trying to attack with?
With my sword.
Okay, so
obviously whipped out.
What's your movement speed though? Because they're 60 feet away.
Oh, yeah, but I have. I'm pretty fast. Because I also have like.
As Master Sonna prepares to race off, Lord Talfrin says, maybe wait and let them close with us so you don't get surrounded by all of them.
Take your sleeping bag off. Oh my God, it's just everywhere.
So, Master Son, what's your movement?
I can't actually attack.
Why is that?
Hooray.
Do you have any range? Do you have anything ranged?
Do I?
I don't know.
Oh, I have darts?
Yes.
Rock.
What's the range of your darts?
Doesn't say.
60 feet.
Let's have a look. Because although you've rolled a 1, remember if you have advantage range, you get to roll 2 dice and you take the best roll. So the darts are actually 60 feet. So your first roll obviously was terrible, but because you've got advantage, you get to roll twice and pick the best.
Oh, okay. Okay, 8 or 20.
Okay, that hits. Okay.
Yeah.
What damage do you cause?
It's the darts. I've never used them before. 1d4 plus 3 piercing.
Sounds about right.
So d4 is a 4 plus 3 piercing is 7.
Okay, so one of your darts lodges in one of these creatures' eye sockets. The kind of wound that you would expect to be a really big deal for in normal opponents, but it does not seem to faze this thing at all, and it continues to almost mindlessly continue to walk towards you. Are you staying where you are?
I'll try to usher Irina behind me so that in protective.
Sure. And she says, "No, I want to fight. I want to defend myself. I want to prove I can do this." She certainly resists you and tries to shove forward. Lord Talford, you're up.
All right. I stand up and extend my palm, and from which a mote of fire races forth to engulf one of them. I got a 24 to hit.
Okay, that will hit.
But only a 2 damage.
Okay, is it the one Master Sona was shooting at, or is it one of the others?
Yeah, I'll compound it.
Okay.
Can they catch fire?
No. It's certainly sort of a moist kind of rotting, not the drying kind of rotting. So
too bad.
Okay,
Too bad.
so but yes, it certainly again, but it does not seem to faze the creature at all. Although you can clearly see you've damaged it with your fire. Kellen, it's you.
I'm going to use my heavy crossbow on the one that's been hit.
Okay.
That
Remember, you get advantage. Remember,
first one's 14,
okay.
And the second one's 9.
Okay. So your 14 will hit.
Okay. 11.
Okay, 11 damage. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. So you, I think we'll go for a gut hit, and you hit it in the gut, and the arrow actually goes all the way through, takes a big chunk off its insides with it. Again, it continues to keep on staggering. Am I right in saying that was piercing damage? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so Kellen, is that Kellen's go over?
That's it.
Okay, so Ismark, he turns to shout at you and he says, I have no ranged weapons. What should I do? And you can see he's got a sword out, and he is ready to. You can see he's ready to dash forward if needs be.
Fall back. Come near the tree. Protect the tree. The tree. We should all ground the base of the tree and defend it.
So he sort of nods his head nervously, and you can see adrenaline's obviously taken over. Him. Although he's had training before, he's not really seen that many combat situations. And as soon as somebody tells him to do something, he does that. So he rushes to the base of Jean's tree, and he stands in a guard position. Master Sona beside you. Irina pushes to the side again. Now she's not ready to rush forward or anything, but she stands side by side with you, brandishing her dagger, trying to remember the ready positions that you were showing her last night. For their part, the creatures, the zombies, they sort of crouch and they pick up speed, and they begin to as much as they can, really go for it. And they're doing their own version of a sprint, but they cover a huge amount of ground because that's the only thing that they're doing. So they manage to cover. They're only now 20 feet away from you. They're leaping over, the logs, weaving their way around the trees. So they're closing the gap 20 feet away. Top of the round, Jean. It's your turn.
I think I should use bardic inspiration here. This is where I can give one of my fellow compatriots, I think, a 1d6 roll. Is that right?
I don't know. I think so.
Yes, that sounds all right to me. Sounds right to me. So do I just choose somebody? Yes, I will choose somebody. I think that after her last performance, Master Sona might be feeling like she could use a little extra. So I'm going to give her the bardic inspiration. Yeah, there it is. Oh my goodness, it was beautiful.
So that means that basically Master Sona can add d6 to her a roll that she makes.
Right, but that was my bonus action.
If she wants to. Yeah, so you still get your main action.
Yes, so I'm going to load a bolt into my almost useless crossbow. And I'm going to aim at the sucker who already has a thing in his eyeball and go for the other eye.
Right, go for it.
16 plus, what do you add to that stuff? Oh, plus 4. So we'll call it 20.
You get the other eye. How much damage? How much damage do you do?
Oh, 1d8. 1d8 plus 2, a d8. What looks like a d8? I got, 7 plus 9.
9 damage. So you do. The bolt actually, and so much damage has already been done to this creature's head. A big part of its skull just seems to cave in on impact. It shatters and it all sinks in, and the insides start to ooze out through what remains of its nose and its mouth. But it still keeps staggering towards you. You can see it's now it is finding it particularly difficult to keep moving, but it's still going for it.
You're the gross one.
Are you staying up in the tree?
Oh, yes!
Yeah, okay. Ismark below you. Ismark says, that was amazing, well done.
Thank you.
Master Sona, it's up to you. 20 feet away. And closing.
20 feet away means I can't, they're not in close combat situation.
They're not, but they could be, I think, because I imagine you
could move forward.
Your movement would get you there if you wanted to.
Yeah, because I'm pretty fast, actually.
Perhaps.
So I think... I will. Now, first of all, I'm going to take a deep breath to center myself, concentrate. I was just asleep, but I can do this. And ready my. No, I'll take the sword.
Okay.
And charge forward to the shambling one who's already got bolts everywhere and darts in his eyes and stuff.
Sure. Okay, go for it.
Okay.
You still have advantage because of the fairy fire.
And you can use the bardic, the d6 at any point you want.
Okay, I'm going to use it now. Okay, so that's 14.
14. So you're slashing at it with your sword. Is that right?
Yes, at the nape.
Okay. Yeah, so do you want to roll your damage?
No. Do I? Oh, yeah, I do. 9.
9. So absolutely, yeah, you take its head off, basically. It just, it seems it takes another couple of steps. It looks as if it's about to claw at you, and then it just seems to almost decompose in front of you and, slops down in this big puddle. In front of you with bones and bits just hanging out of it. So it's gone.
Capital blow.
I also
have
done! A bonus action.
Yes, yeah.
Which I'd like to take advantage of. Flurry of blows. So it's a one smooth movement. Mm-hmm. His head is chopped off, and I'm guessing someone is next to him.
Very close
that we haven't yet.
Yep.
So I grab that one's wrist, a decomposing wrist, and try to dislocate his arm.
Okay, that's fine. Do you want to go for it?
Yep. That's a D4.
You just pull the arm right off. No?
Yeah, I hope so.
Squelch.
That is a 4.
Beat him with it.
It's Now, so is it just you don't need to roll to attack for this? Is that right? Do you just automatically get the damage?
Oh, I don't know. Flurry of blows.
I think you might need to make an attack roll, an extra attack roll with it. I think.
Okay.
Let me just check. Flurry of blows. Is that what it was?
Flurry of blows. Oh, no, I have to spend a chi point.
Okay.
Hang on. So that means... I don't know. It says here that that's a save.
Okay.
Do I just take the unarmed?
You automatically get one unarmed attack as a monk. So
Yeah.
you just get that anyway.
Okay.
If you do flurry of blows, you get 2 unarmed strikes, but that does cost.
But that costs a chi point. So no, I'll just go with an unarmed bonus action.
Okay. So basically, it's another attack though. So you need to take the attack roll, and then you get your hits if you keep the damage if you hit it.
Oh, we haven't played for so long. I'm sorry. 18.
18 hits, absolutely. And do you want to roll your damage?
Yep. That's 4 + 3, 7.
7 damage. Do you know what kind of damage it is? Does it say there for you?
It's unarmed. Bludgeoning, I'm guessing.
Yanking. Twisting.
Yanking damage.
Okay. All right. So, sorry, how much damage did you do with your attack?
7.
7, and you are going for his arm. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what actually happens? So you basically do yank his arm straight off from out of its socket. But then you realise what's actually happening is that the arm, as you sort of throw it to the ground, and it keeps moving, and you can see that the arm is actually on the ground, detached from the body of this creature, is trying to claw at you as well from below. Okay, so you've got an arm on the ground now trying to take attacks as well, and it's Lord Talfrin's turn. So Lord Talfrin, we've got 3 zombies left in front of you. One of them is armless. And Master Senna is in the fray. What are you doing?
And I have advantage, right?
You have
Yes.
advantage.
Yes. So 23,
Okay. What are you doing?
and the damage is 10.
Okay. What are you doing?
Yes.
What are you trying to do?
sorry.
Though?
Throwing a ball of fire.
Okay.
What else would I be doing?
He's making a sandwich. Poison
At this
sandwich.
stage in the game, it should be a given.
What are you?
No, I throw a bolt of fire at the one who's just lost his arm.
Okay.
Actually into the open socket in his shoulder,
Yes.
so that it detonates inside its
Would
chest.
you like to roll your damage?
Oh, I did. Sorry, 10.
10 damage. Excellent. So Dawn,
Yes.
it detonates inside his chest, and he's you see it's almost like an amber heart pulsing inside. As the inside, as the chest cavity ripples and turns black, but it continues to. You can see that it is intent on harming your companion as soon as it can. Is that your turnover, Lord Talfin?
That they're 20 feet away at this point.
They are.
I'm going to back away to keep them, within range of my firebolt.
yeah,
So I'm going to back away like another
Come under the
40
tree.
feet, and I call out to everyone like, "Retreat before them!" Unless you're in a tree, in which case maybe climb a little higher.
Kellen, you're up.
Nothing makes me angrier than walking dead people, so I'm going to fly into a barbaric rage and
Innocent
charge.
Vistani women.
Okay.
Charge, yeah, that's right. Charge toward one of the unharmed zombies
Okay, go for it.
with my axe, attacking
Or
it.
don't retreat.
First roll is a 24.
Okay.
Let me
That'll
just
do
see
it.
if I can best it. No, I can't.
Okay, 24. Go for it. Roll your damage.
Only 6.
6 slashing damage, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And I get a second attack since I'm in my rage.
go for it.
And I get advantage on this one as well.
Okay, yes, you do.
Okay, 24 again.
Yes.
That's a little better. And 10 damage.
10 damage. So slashing damage again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's 10, and it is slashing.
Okay. So basically what happens, your first attack, you chop at the creature's leg, and the leg comes off straight away. And then your second attack, you sort of swivel, swing the blade around your head, and you slash at the zombie's head and its neck. You completely decapitate it, and the head goes flying off. However, both these objects that you've taken off the zombie, they continue to writhe around on the ground, still animated. So the leg is basically
trying to kick me.
It's absolutely bad. It's trying to balance and jump around, and the head is lying right beside you. And it is you can see that it's basically trying to get a grip at you with its teeth. So
lovely.
So Kellen, is that your go over?
That's it.
Okay. It's Ismark's turn, and he sort of looks up to you, Jean. Now the zombies are 20 feet away at the moment, and he looks up to you and he says, "Should I run in to attack?"
You should probably climb the tree.
What?
I mean, like get between. We want to have like a defense between myself and the ground. So maybe like come up on the end of the branch and put yourself right there.
Right, I shall do my best. And he puts his sword in his sheath, and he has a wee go at climbing the tree. And he does. He actually manages. You can see the adrenaline rushing through his body. He does actually manage to get up to you, and he gets himself in this ready position up in the branches. If you're about 10 feet up, he's about 6 feet up. He's just below you, and he says, "No, what shall I do?"
Well, I mean, I was hoping you'd get a little higher so you could position yourself in front of me as sort of like a curtain of flesh. Sort of.
Right, I shall, and he moves up again. So he's basically up on a branch that's sort of parallel with yours. He's at the same level as you. His sword ready, staring at the zombies as they move closer.
All right. So now this is very, very, very important. Okay. Now fire your arrow.
I do not have any ranged weapons. That's why I wasn't firing at the beginning.
Oh, well, this has not worked out well. Do you know any like grave insults?
What?
They work for me. A grave.
We're moving on to as Ismark just stares at you aghast at the fact that he's now up this tree with no other plan. Onto Irina.
You followed an actor up a tree. I mean, what can I tell you,
Master Sunner? You are suddenly aware of a shout from behind you, and then you see Irina dive at the arm that you have pulled off the zombie. It's trying to claw at you, and she's having a go at it with her dagger. Just bear with me. Okay.
It's very efficient.
So she, and with her advantage, actually, she does manage to stab at it, and she gets a little bit of damage. Okay. She gets 5 slashing damage. So you can see she does actually cause. She cuts off a couple of digits basically off of this arm. You can see it, and it starts to lose its. Starts to animate a little less. You can also see that the effect. It seems to have had some effect on the other parts of the zombie. The rest of the zombie that is still attacking you, and it seems to have been affected in some way by the damage that Irina's caused on it. So it's now unfortunately their turns to attack. So we're going to start with the one on you, Master Suna. Now it's basically it's got. Obviously, it's got one arm away from you, that isn't able to attack you, but the other arm is clawing at your face. So let's go for... it gets 21 versus AC. Imagine that hits. So he rakes its claws across you for 4 slashing damage. And as it does that, it also tries to bite you as well. It sort of leaps forward and brilliant! It gets 21 as well. So I imagine it sort of manages to sink its teeth into your forearm for another 3 piercing damage. And the claw that's on the ground...
You have to cut her arm off now, right? To stop her from turning?
That's right. The claw that's on the ground is also going to go for Irina. And it claws... I am rolling like nobody's business. So it claws at Irina. unfortunately, it seems to have a much bigger effect on her as it manages to get his claws just at her gut, and she's not really wearing anything particularly armored. And she gives a cry of extreme pain, and red just begins to bloom on her clothing. It's a pretty bad wound that she's taken. It's not just the scratches that you've been dealt, so it's not looking good for her.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.